Hi everyone, Chuck here. We're going to take a look at, in this video, the lease and subscription option that's available within the Blue connection here. So what you're seeing on the screen here is kind of the agenda of our time here, as we'll look first at the lease and subscription, both from a sales standpoint and then from the financing standpoint. Then we'll talk a little bit about the revenue aspect. We'll poke some eyes so we can have you think about some of the other areas involved. Take a look over at the information tab because there's a couple of things over there. And then finally get you thinking about that this is really a cost-benefit calculation that you'll be looking as well. So hopefully you'll take a quick screen print of this so you can kind of follow along on the agenda. So let's go into the simulation and start looking at these. So we're going to go over to sales first. This is a sample simulation I have set up on my side, and I'm going to go up on top to the agreements tab. Okay, and you'll see here we have a choice now of subscription or lease. I'm going to go into the negotiate button so we can go in and take a look at it. We will have a choice of direct sales or subscription and lease, so it's an either or choice. You'll notice as I click on warranty, we can no longer do a warranty if we're doing a subscription or lease. Your choice will be like an automobile, a 3-year lease, a 5-year lease, or 7-year lease, or a unlimited month-by-month subscription pay-as-you-go option that's out there. You'll notice also that you can calculate the circularity for the bonuses or penalties, as well as you can still offer maintenance on the subscription or lease as well. You'll notice also that because I've done subscription, this is a monthly fee that the customer is going to pay us each month rather than buy it for the full 2,000 plus euros here. If I change it to a 3-year lease and hit the calculate button, you'll see that number change also. So those are some of your choices out there. Okay, so with that, let's go over here to the left and just kind of poke some eyes. Well, actually, let's go over to finance. So let me hit the cancel here. Because you're getting a monthly fee and you're not getting the whole amount of money from the customer, you're going to have some cash flow issues. So if you're going to go ahead and go the subscription or lease, you've got to go to the bank to borrow money to cover the cash flow during the time frames when money's coming in. So essentially what you're doing is you're selling your bikes to the bank and then you're leasing them out, so they're holding the bikes as collateral. So if you go up to the vendor lease tab, okay, you'll notice down here, I'm going to hit negotiate. Okay, you have to make some choices, and this is by customer. You see up here Cheetah, and then you'll do it for Gear Shift and then HBS. So you're going to have to take out cash flow loans. So you're going to have to look at the difference between what you would have gotten for cash if you'd have sold it versus what you'll take in for income now based on the bikes, and go to the banks for the taking out the loans. So whatever amount of millions you take out. You're also going to have to specify durability and subscription lease that goes with that. So if I say based on what I've got, and you'll use the depreciation chart to see what the average age of the bikes is, you're going to have to put in a durability number here. So let's go 5 years, hit calculate. And then I'll see what the contract index is going to be. This is a multiplier on the interest rate. So we've got a product durability. We have to tell the bank how durable we're going to be, as well as what the subscription and lease time frame is. So coming back here, those are the decisions we've got to make here. Now we talked a little bit about the impact on the revenues also, because instead of getting the 2,000 plus in one time, now you're going to get 60 something or 70 something, whatever it is, per month. And so you have to look at the cash flow. So let's go back and start in finance while we're there and poke some of those eyes for a moment. So I'm going to come back here, cancel out, come over to the left. Let's poke the I for product durability so you know what we're talking about here. Average lifetime of the product in the market for that customer. I'm going to click the More button so we can go into the back office, and that's where more detail is. You can see where my cursor is at. Average lifetime of the product. Indication can be found in the depreciation chart. That's the average age. The longer the lifetime, the less risk for the bank and the cheaper the vendor lease program. Be aware, false information will cause bank penalties. So if your bike does not last as long an average age, you'll get some penalties. If you'll notice down below that, here's the subscription part. Okay, this can be for fixed years, 3, 5, or 7, or unlimited. If there's a mismatch with the durability, the bank will charge for this extra risk. So in other words, if I have a 7-year lease and the bike only lasts 5 years, I'll not only have a problem up on the durability, but I've also put the bank at risk on the subscription part because the bike's not lasting as long as planned. Okay, so unlimited subscription has an uncertain revenue model that creates more risk to the bank as well. Be aware that false information will cause bank penalties. Okay, in other words, unlimited is there's going to be times when the bikes will not be used, but the bank is still giving you loans on that. So those are some things to think about in the process here. Okay. So let's go back to sales for a moment. And let's go back to agreements. And let's poke the eyes over here as well. Subscription lease. The subscription or lease duration. Let's go back into the details, see if there's anything out there. Duration, 3, 5, or 7 years or unlimited, which is the month by month. You'll get a guaranteed monthly fee. In case of breakdowns before the end of the subscription, the product will be repaired at our cost. But we do outsource it, and the rate is 350 euros to repair that bike. Again, depending on the components, like before, a discount's possible depending on the repair discount in the bike components. Okay. If it's an unlimited subscription, we'll get a monthly fee during the lifetime of the bikes. The bike breaks down, gets returned to us. They can end the contract every month. We need to transport, clean, and repair. So we'll get no monthly revenue. So we'll take a look at that. Okay. So that's something for you and I to think about as well. But those are available when we poke the eye. Like I said, we can also do maintenance intensity if we want to as we look at that. So going back to our agenda here, there's a couple other things I want to look at when we poke the eye. So let's go back in for a sec because I want to talk to you a little bit about that area here. So I don't know if I had anything else, but let's take a look. We may have very easily covered it here. And I just did a little bit out of a sequence here, but I want to take a peek back to make sure we've got the duration, the subscriptions. Oh, months between unlimited subscription contracts. Can be ended on a monthly basis. Retailer will try to have this product in a next subscription with another consumer. So once one person returns it, we're going to try and get the bike back out there, fixed up and tuned up and ready to go so somebody else will rent it from us. We got that 350 euros every time the bike comes back in for repair. And what this is referring to this time in between, that's where I wanted to look at number 4, this information tab. So let's go over to the information tab for a moment. And we've got a couple new columns here now. Here's our 3 customers on top. And right over here on the right side, months between unlimited subscription contracts. So for Cheetah, Gear Shift, and HBS, here's the months between when we're doing the repair. To the right is the average duration. So if you look at HBS, the bikes are out there on average for 12 months. Bike comes back in. This is on the unlimited subscription, so it's out there for 12 months. Then months 13 and 14 are going to go through the You're going to get no revenue for 13 and 14 because that's the months in between when it'll get subscribed for another 12 months. During those 2 periods, you'll get no revenue again, and you're also going to incur that 350 euros to be able to get the bikes back. So if you think about Cheetah as an example, the subscription 6 months, let's say you get 70 euros per bike for 6 months, and that's 70 euros per month. So 70 euros times 6 is 420 euros. The bike comes back in, you're getting no revenue from months 7 and 8. But in those months 7 or 8, you're going to spend 350 to get the bike brought back up to standard. So you're going to give up 350 of the 420 that you made. So you'll have to give yourself that question: does that, is that good enough to only walk away with 70 euros per bike? And should we do subscription or not? So those are the 2 pieces of information I wanted to capture there, which kind of leads into our last comment on the cost-benefit calculation. The benefit, of course, is going to be what? There's going to be the revenue from the lease or the subscription. So that'll be your money coming in. The money going out, the cost, is going to be what? The vendor lease. So you have to take enough money out for the bank, and that's the interest you're going to pay on that. So you have to calculate that, as well as the repair costs. And those will have to be incorporated into a cost per bike, I would imagine, and then you'll be able to look at it and see if that makes sense as a model or not. Okay, and don't forget, as you use different components, it's going to impact the age and the repair costs, and so those will impact over here on the right as well. So I think that captures everything that we need to work on as an option here.